Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming Syndrome. Today we are going to be taking a look at the new Nintendo Switch Pro that's actually not a Pro whatsoever. It's the Nintendo Switch OLED model. A new model of the Nintendo Switch which will be available October 8th this year and retail for $350. So all those rumors were fake and let's talk about it. Everyone was expecting a huge new upgrade, something akin to the new Nintendo 3DS XL, as horrible of a name as that was. It did greatly improve the 3DS in many different ways, aside from just the screen quality. But this upgrade for this version of the Switch is just the 7-inch OLED screen. We don't know anything about the battery. It's possible it has an enhanced battery, or at the very least it uses the enhanced battery from the current Switch model that they've given a better battery. But yes, it is known as the Nintendo Switch OLED, and the entire appeal of it is that it has an OLED screen. Personally speaking, I wouldn't recommend... the value of it is up to you, of course, but personally, with my budget and time and work, I wouldn't recommend upgrading if you already have a Nintendo Switch. I could see maybe upgrading if you have a Lite and you really want the ability to dock, but you also use it handheld and that better screen appeals to you. Then I would say go ahead and maybe consider it. Or if you've been waiting for a new Switch to be announced and you don't have a Switch at all, then I think it's a good opportunity to jump in for $50 more, better screen, better speakers, better kickstand. Sure, go ahead. But I wouldn't upgrade. If you want those features, honestly, just buy like a $50 battery case or something that has a better kickstand like this built into it. It's very similar to those Surface tablets that Microsoft made. I don't know if they still make them. And it does have a built-in LAN port. And another feature is that it has double the storage, which 64 gigabytes is really not anything to boast about. I mean, they're not boasting about it, I suppose. It is listed on the features here. But yeah, 64 gigabytes. I guess since Switch games are so small, you figure like Animal Crossing, I think is about 6 gigs. So you figure it does make a difference. Like, that's probably, depending on the game, anywhere between like 5, 6, 10 to 2 games, depending on what game you download. So it's nice that you got some more internal storage, but again, in my opinion, not worth an upgrade. And yep, it's just like a regular Switch, uses the same crappy Joy-Cons that'll probably start drifting after a year. And yeah, new color schemes of Joy-Cons. There's really not that much to it, other than they did change the box, interestingly. That's the most interesting thing to me. They did change the box here, so it's more of a vertical thing, and the white set does come with a white dock, which is really pretty. Really cool. So yeah, that's about it. I wanted to make this video to record my thoughts on it, but to be honest, I don't really have many thoughts to say about it. It's kind of exactly what it sounds. It's a Nintendo Switch OLED model. A lot of people I know were really hyped for Switch Pro, and that's what they were expecting. I personally didn't buy into those rumors. I know there were credible people leaking it, so it is very well possible that maybe a few months from now, we see a Switch Pro. Or Super Switch, or whatever it's called. But honestly, I think a lot of the Switch's lacking in graphical power comes down to optimization and how well games are made for it. Not to say that the Switch couldn't use a power boost, but there are plenty of games that run perfectly fine. Like, for example, Splatoon 2. It can get pretty chaotic on screen with different, artifacts, models, and effects, and I've never seen a frame drop. So, not to say that we just have to I don't know, we can't expect better, but I don't think it's like the end-all be-all like some people make it out to be. I think it'd be nice to have a souped-up, super-powered Switch to play Breath of the Wild 2 on, but I think the base Switch is, still cutting it for the kinds of games Nintendo is putting out. I don't think that, I don't know, unless Breath of the Wild 2 is dramatically different from the first, I think it would be fine to run it on a base Switch. A new model would be nice, but if Breath of the Wild 2 comes out holiday 2022 or before, there could be a Pro by then. I mean, we could see a Pro next year. But it's also very possible that this is where they just want to leave it, and that's fine with that too. I mean, looks nice, and at least it means that there's not any exclusive games that base Switch owners like myself will miss out on. I know the new 3DSs had, like, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 was only on the 3DS. Okay, sorry for the weird cut. As you probably heard, my dogs were freaking out, and I wanted to make sure that they didn't just totally get in the background of the video. But yeah, the good thing about this, even if it is disappointing to people, is that it doesn't mean we're going to break up the hardware in terms of games, so we won't have to worry about there being a new Nintendo Switch game that's only on the new Switch, because that would kind of suck for the people like myself who will still have the base model. If I could make one like tiny change to this, it would be to make the screen 1080p, because it's getting bigger, and I don't know if they specify here. I already saw it is a 720p screen. They don't mention it here. They just call it HD, I think, because they don't want to look bad. Yeah, okay, they don't say. But it is indeed a 720p screen. And what concerns me is a lot of games look perfectly reasonable at 720p. I mean, 720p isn't a bad resolution. I think 720p is perfectly fine for phones, because think about the size of the average phone. I mean, like, you're not going to notice that big of a difference between 720p and 1080 on a device that's with the screen this small. But now that they're removing even more of the bezel, and it's getting up to, was it 7 inches? Yeah, 7-inch OLED screen. That means that those pixels that may be kind of, or like jagged edges in games, that may be kind of sticking out in a game that's running at 720p are going to be blown up a bit more. And this wasn't even noticeable. My sister owns a regular 3DS, and I have the new 2DS XL. And I was playing, I think, Pokemon Ultra Sun, and there were like textures on the ground that looked fine on her smaller screen, but with my bigger screen, they were blown up, and I could notice a lot more of the roughness to the texturing. It's just me being picky, but I overall think that the screen will be a benefit and make games look better. I mean, I think they showed off, let's see here, let's mute this so I don't get copyright striked. They showed off a few different games, one of which was Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which is actually like the first we've seen of that game in an actual video in quite a while. I don't know why this looks so bad. And the new Mario Party. So I think like running games like this in handheld mode, the colors will really pop is the main thing. OLED screens have really nice colors. I mean, a lot of this is them playing on the TV, which is kind of funny because, it shouldn't run any different on a TV than my Switch, but yeah, I don't think it's going to make a huge deal in most games, but there are very specific games I can think of that run at below 720p handheld. I think Bowser's Fury may actually be one of them. I know for a fact Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is one of them. That game has a dynamic scaling, so it can go up to 720p, and then when you're in a intense area, it'll scale down so you can be playing at like 420p, so that's not going to look good blown up an extra inch. We did see Breath of the Wild 2, and I do think that this screen looks way nicer with the way thinner bezel. It just looks sleeker, newer. And I'm sure it'll look older and we'll get used to it. Like, I still think the Switch looks pretty like sleek and modern. I don't think it looks toy-like or outdated, but this just does look very sleek, like kind of like a tablet more than a smartphone, I guess. And we did see like that 3-second clip, or 2.5-second clip of Breath of the Wild, and then this was Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and so I can really tell with the OLED screen how like the red on his hat is gonna, and like the orange on Floatzel, or I think that's Floatzel, right? I could be wrong. It could be the Weasel, but I don't know. I'll find out when I play the game. But the orange and the colors really pop out, which I have to say the graphics on this game looked a lot better than they did a few months ago. So I'm just hoping they have some new content. But that is a discussion for another day. That's about it. Just wanted to kind of give my thoughts on the OLED model. Hopefully you enjoyed listening to my little rant. I obviously didn't have a script prepared, so it probably sounded pretty awful. I've got a few videos coming up that I'm planning that I do have scripts for, or I am working on a script for, one of which is a talk about Animal Crossing New Horizons, like I've said before. I've tried to live stream a few times, but my internet has been very spotty, so you probably saw me, like, the stream going on and off, and I ended up just giving up. So I appreciate you guys for sticking with me and not just unsubscribing and running away. I'm really trying hard. This is something I really enjoy doing. It's a passion of mine, to be honest, and it's something that I really want to do more. And I really want people to enjoy my content, and I want it to be worthwhile and actually work in the first place. So I appreciate you guys. If you watched or listened, it can be like a podcast too. If you listened, I really, really appreciate that. And if you guys could do me a huge favor and leave a comment down in the comments below about what you'd like from me to see from me as a YouTuber. Do you want to see more live streams, or would you like Let's Plays uploaded in episode format? I know that's kind of outdated for YouTube. Some people still do it. I feel like it would kind of kill my channel, but I kind of want to do it. Or do you like these discussion type videos without a script, or would you prefer longer waits between videos with the script? And what games do you want me to talk about? Just let me know. Anything really. You can put it in the comments. I read everyone's comments. So your advice is greatly appreciated. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon. I've been having just an insanely busy life at the moment. Of course I decided to start YouTube once a bunch of stuff came up. So I'm gonna have to change my goal to once a week upload for now. I don't have a specific schedule yet. Hopefully that will be coming soon once I can get things ironed out to be more consistent. But yeah, that's about it. I'm not going to waste your time any longer. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.